is a bottle opener, sometimes referred to a church key, which was a simple handheld device for prying the cap off of a glass bottle. It was called that because the shape or design of some early bottle openers resembled an old church key's large keyring hole. Not only that, but centuries ago, monks were known to be the best of brewers. In addition, masses were often given in Latin, so maybe people needed a little assistance to get them through the ordeal. The symbol of the fish in Christianity. The fish was a symbol of Christianity used by the early church. And as you may remember, the story of Jesus multiplying the loaves and the fishes to feed the masses. In English, sometimes it's said to mean Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. The Martineau fish is a combination bottle opener and can opener in the shape of the Christian fish. It fuses the divine with the sublime with a good time, creating a mystical experience to the opening of a beer or any other type of beverage or substance in a can. The fish, however, can lead to both the best of times and the worst of times, often for the same person and often on the same day. The Fish, a Thome, by Susie J. Fish. You can figure that one out for yourselves. It goes like this. Take me back to yesterday when one could hope and wish. Help me make some memories, just you and me, the fish. The fish! His story. It is not clear whether anyone knows the origin, like the whens, the wheres, the how much it cost, etc., of the fish. I only know that the fish had facilitated many a spirited discussion in the kitchen area of 24 Buchanan Street, Providence, Rhode Island, for what seemed to be decades. Now, as a side note, the fish wasn't necessary. There were many spirited discussions around that kitchen table without the fish even coming out for a swim. But back to the action. Since some of my best memories I've forgotten, no specific individual fish moment stands out above the others. I smile, though, when I hark back to times with brothers John and Steve sitting around the table with the Black Sheep Squadron leader, Pappy, also known as Albert. And at some point, someone might feel the urge to sip something out of a bottle, and the fish would be released to the rousing chorus of, "The fish!" Or, "Oh no, not the fish!" To be honest, it's all kind of blurry, so other family members may need to add to this short fish history. But after Joe and Al passed away, and before the house was sold, I visited Rhode Island. Of course, everybody offered me a place to crash in their homes, but I wanted to stay at 24 Buchanan Street for one final time. I think there was nothing in the house but like an air mattress or a couch or something in case a visitor wanted to crash, and there were some utensils in case a visitor wanted to make a meal. Short side note, with the passing of Joe and Al, I really didn't want any mementos except for their wedding photo, which was procured for me by Donna. A couple of years later, Claire gave me Al and Joe's wedding rings and Josephine's rosary beads. The picture that you see is their present configuration, the photo of course is on your right, welcoming love to the third floor of my home in Mount Holly, North Carolina. When I reune with the all that is, I would like the rings, the rosary beads, and picture passed on to Josephine Martineau, daughter of Brian and Ashley. That is, of course, unless somebody names a new great grandchild Albert, in which case Al's ring, of course, should go to Al. Anyway, back to the story. So I was in the kitchen and I needed something out of the utensil drawer. As I opened the drawer, I couldn't believe my eyes. The fish was there amid the rubble, staring back at me, seeking a purpose and looking for a new home. So without missing a beat, the fish burst forth loudly from my voice box. It was like reuniting with an old friend. Now, there was probably some kind of Lenny celebration at this point, but that's not the point. Since that moment, the fish has been mine. She, as of now, on 6/16/2020, lurks primed and ready in my own utensil drawer, just waiting for her name to be called. More times than I need to remember, I have called her name. The present. I often use the pointed can opener side to pop up a pull tab on a can just to be able to loudly sing "The Fish" and smile. On May 3rd, 2020, Kevin Martineau turned 21. My plan was to bequeath the fish to him on my next trip to Rhode Island, but COVID-19 changed our world in ways that we could never, ever have predicted or imagined. Similar to our family's life begins at 40 coffee mug tradition, Kevin can do with the fish as he pleases. He can keep it, or he can pass it on to a friend or family member when they reach the ripe old age of 21. A citation. Dear Kevin, I, Leonard Peter Martineau, being of sound body mind, hereby bequeath to you the fish. Now, for those of you who think that you have to be dead to bequeath something, I'm going to change that rule. I think that we should bequeath things before we die. Anyway, back to the citation. May you allow her to swim freely. May she grace many a family friend solo event. In the poem on page 1, the just you and me line refers not to the many times I have partaken of the fish as a solo bachelor, but more so just because it rhymed. The fish is meant to be shared, to be experienced, to facilitate spirited conversation, and to be a sign of security and safety. In this day and age, social media, craziness, always practice safety in everything that you do and say. Now, she may have a little bit of rust on her, but don't let that fool you. She is a daddy of a church key. I only wish that I could be there with you as you open the inaugural beverage that begins your time together. Rest assured, though, before I put her in the mail, I will honor her and I'll honor her memories as I pre-pave her bright and happy future with one more rousing North Carolina rendition of The Fish. Kevin, you are now the man. Love, Uncle Lenny.